Hey guys, this is Michael with Elite Truck. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a brand new product and brand to our site. This is the Worksport bed cover. This is the AL4 model. Really pleased to show this to you, and today we're going to be installing it onto this Silverado right behind me. Let's go ahead and get started with unpackaging. All right, so now that we've got everything unboxed, I wanted to show you all a couple of the different parts that come with this kit. Something really nice about this bed cover is that it's aluminum, so it's lightweight. You don't have to worry about any rust or corrosion happening over time. The way it's designed, it sits very flush with the bed rails. So from the side, you're not even going to be able to tell that it's there. It's got a very low profile look, very sleek. Big fan of how this thing has been constructed, and I think it's going to last a very long time. I expect that this cover is going to hold up really well to rain because the gasket material that they use here on the side is integrated already into the bed cover. They use some really high quality rubber seals on the sides, and then in the corners they've got the foam pre-installed too, so it looks really watertight and should hold up for a long time and keep your cargo dry. As far as the parts that come with this kit to install it, it's going to be some of your standard stuff that you'd see on any other bed cover. We've got the clamps that go here on the side, some foam strip to keep all the water out as much as we can, some various hardware here, and then these are the rails. And the nice part about these rails is that it actually has these support rods right here, and you can use that with this cover to keep it folded all the way up so you can have a completely open bed if you need it for putting parts back there or a load back there. First step in the install process is going to be getting the weather stripping installed towards the bulkhead. So before you do that, make sure that you clean the area really well. We're using alcohol prep pad and wiping down the surface to make sure that there's no grease or dirt to mess with the adhesion. Another thing to note as you're putting the weather stripping down, do not stretch it as you install it. Make sure that you just lay it nice and flat. Try to go as straight as you can all the way across the bulkhead, and make sure that it butts up all the way to the corners on the sides. You can either use a sharp pair of scissors or a knife to cut the end, but make sure it's nice and flush. All right, so now that we've got the bulkhead seal installed, we're gonna move on to these side rails and getting them assembled before we put them on. First step in doing that is to take this bracket, this L bracket, you can see right here, and we're gonna install it on this end of the side rail. Notice the orientation of this rail before we start. This is a pre-installed bracket right here, and we're gonna be working all the way on this end where there's no bracket. So in order to install this, we're gonna take 2 bolts, 2 washers, and 2 nuts per bracket. We're gonna slide the bolt heads into this channel right here. And then you're gonna go ahead and set the bracket on top, align the bolts right there. Before you tighten down the hardware on this bracket, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have at least 1/4 inch of clearance between the end of the bracket and the end of the rail. All right, so now that we've got the side rails assembled, the next step is going to be actually getting them attached to the truck. In order to do that, you're going to be using these clamps right here. They're going to be used in this orientation. To get them installed onto the side rail, you simply slide it right in here into this groove, and it goes like that, and then you tighten this bolt against the bedside and it will go ahead and secure it down. When you're putting these clamps on, make sure that you have them spaced evenly at the back, the middle, and the front approximately. You may have to play around with fitment depending on other bracket positioning. One other thing to note, make sure that you've got the right bed rail for the right side of the truck that you're gonna be on. So what you're looking for there is the brackets that we just put on need to be at the front of the bed, and they need to be facing towards each other. All right, so now that we've got the bed cover placed onto the truck bed itself, the next step is gonna be taking this back panel right here, flipping it up, taking this hardware, sliding it into the slot right there, and you're going to secure it on the inside with a washer and nut. After you've done that, you're gonna come back to the top, put this buckle in, and it has a little groove that fits right in right there. So pull it forward with some force and it'll get it to line up. There's a threaded insert right there on the top of this panel, and you're gonna use this Phillips head screw to tighten this clip holder down. All right, so now that we've got the bed cover all installed, all our fasteners are tight, we're happy with the alignment all the way around, I wanted to take a second and show you all some features on this bed cover before we end the video. All right, so first feature I wanted to highlight is this release handle right here. It's a cable and it can be used from either side of the truck. All you do is just pull down on it, it releases the latches, and then you just pick right up and fold this section back. And then if you want to continue folding it forward, you just repeat the same process. Reach in here, there's a cable, pull down on it, flip the next section up. Now at this point, you have the ability to keep the bed cover in this position. If you want a partially open bed, what you would do is simply use these straps right here at the top, take these and the clip and install them into the clip retainer that we previously installed at the front of the bulkhead, and you cinch that down and you can keep it just like this. If you want a completely open bed, we can also do that using these prop rods. So I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. All right, so like I mentioned earlier, you can keep the bed cover partially closed as it is and you have partial access to the bed, but if you want full access to the bed, you have the ability to do that because of these prop rods right here on the side. So I'm going to show you how they work. First thing you're going to need to do is release this section. This is the last section of the bed. So pull down on that same cable we've been using, lift up on the entire cover, and then come over to one side, holding the bed cover with one hand, grab the prop rod with the other, release it with this red trigger and pull out, and then place it right here onto that rounded stud, and that holds that side. And then we can move on to the other side and do the exact same thing. Clip it right in, and now it's secured, it's holding itself up, and you have full access to the bed. All right, I appreciate y'all finishing the video. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about the Worksport AL4 model that we installed today on this truck. If it's something that you're interested in putting on your own truck, definitely check out our website, and we are offering free shipping at this time, so make sure you take advantage of that. This is Michael with Elite Truck. I'll see you next time.